the MJF stuff. Look, he's no longer force feeding us a lot of the goofiness. I really think he took that to heart a few weeks ago. I mean, he told people as much. He spoke about it publicly and privately to people who were critical of him. But I still don't like his overall direction. I mean, this I'm trying my best to change kind of babyface thing that he's doing. He had a tweet a few days ago, and I'll read the tweet to you. He says, and I quote, "In this sport, respect isn't given, it's earned. Every time I step in the ring, I used to only do it for myself because I figured nobody gave a shit if I was alive or dead. Now when I walk through that curtain, I walk out with everyone who believes in me. I'm not a finished product, but I'm trying." End quote. And then last night, after he came out to attack the Bullet Club and he gave his fiery promo, he talked about how he was on this journey, but this time everybody here in this building and all the people at home are on this journey with him. Yuck. Listen, I've said this before, or maybe I haven't. I've thought it though. But anyone who was sick and tired of the shitbag heel edgelord walking the fine line of cancellation MJF character, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Because this is what we're getting now. It's like he was so much more interesting as this douchebag, hateable, edgelord. Is he going to say something to get canceled? But we all knew was also deeply insecure, which is why he behaved that way. And I'm talking about, obviously, the character, the gimmick, whatever you want to call it. He was so much more interesting then as compared to now, even if you had to suffer through a cringy promo every now and then. Because this shit he's doing now is cringe every night. I figured nobody gave a shit if I was alive or dead. I'm on this journey with all of you. Listen. Doesn't this company already have, oh my God, you guys, it's so hard to be a millennial babyface? That's Hangman Page. And that's been his deal from the start. And he's more believable and credible in that role than MJF is. MJF comes off, this could be close to how he really feels, but in a pro wrestling context, it just comes off phony. Now, if he's doing this as a long setup to a heel turn, which I don't think he is, well then apologies, sir. I have been successfully worked, but I don't believe that's the case. And either way, it's cringy. It's super cringe coming from him. He was so much more interesting as that hateable douchebag who would punch people in the dick, double cross anyone in his path, make no real friends, because he had this insatiable desire and need to prove that he was the best and he was the world champion. Even if he had to lie, cheat, manipulate, stab people in the back to get there, and yet would get everything he wanted and succeed right up until capturing the one thing that he wanted the most, the world title. And I still say that MJF should have remained a heel his entire career and never won the world title. That should have been the one thing that always eluded him, so that he would never feel complete. Because he was a bad guy who was doing things the wrong ways. And then if you wanted to do the babyface turn sometime down the line, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years from now, when he finally learns his lesson, great. But we rushed through 15 years of story to get to pandering, babyface, nobody cares about me, I'm trying my best, guys. It's hard out here. On a journey, MJF. We rushed through 15 years of story to get to that. And it just isn't interesting. He's not coming off genuine at all. And at its root, both the babyface MJF and the heel MJF is rooted in insecurity. But it was so much more interesting in the heel package. And he was so much better at it than what he's doing now. And I know there's going to be a heel turn that's going to come down the line, but you can't sell me that this entire era of MJF has been a long con. Hugging Kenny Omega after the championship match. The friendship with Adam Cole where he had opportunities to stab that guy in the back and didn't do it. Through the world title, Adam told him he cared more about the friendship. These were all times he could have pivoted back. And we've seen. So you can't tell me this is all long con to get there. This is a gimmick he wants to sink his teeth into. This is a character he wants to portray right now. And it stinks. It's not good. Even without the crowd participation promo facets of it and whatnot, it's just not as interesting as he was before. The super hateable guy who would always find a way to get his way and screw over the babyfaces, but never get what he ultimately wanted. So you know as a fan that he would always have that hole in his soul because his shortcuts could get him just so far, but not all the way over the top. And I thought that would have been a much more interesting story to tell. And really, I guess what I'm getting to here is I don't think that that version of MJF learned enough of his lesson to be where we are now this quickly. And as a result, it's not as interesting. I mean, I couldn't have cringed harder when he talked about being on a journey. Ugh, just yuck. And MJF of all people. What are you, Steve Perry? What do you mean you're on a journey? Are you backpacking through Tibet? Are you climbing the Himalayas? I mean, you know, I can't stand when people, oh, I'm on my weight loss journey. You're not on a journey. You're not rowing up the River Nile looking for the fucking bones of Cleopatra. Okay? It's not a journey. It's just so cringe. MJF is not on a journey. And again, Hangman Page, he's got this gimmick, this character. He's got that on lockdown. We have the babyface. It's so hard to be a millennial in 2023. We've got that guy. And he's more nuanced than MJF is. And he's more likable doing that sort of gimmick than MJF is. And he's more authentic. And that's the big key here. He comes across more authentic. MJF was best when he was an over-the-top 1980s villainous asshole. Why? Because it stood out in this era. And he was great at it. And he was more interesting for all of the reasons I already laid out. This is junk. And I don't know what he's trying to prove. But I understand what he's trying to be. And unfortunately for him, I just think he leapfrogged several acts of the story to get there way before he should have. And now we're stuck with this.